Hello, bonjour, Montreal! How's everyone doing this afternoon? Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Norris! We're having a great time, guys. No flash photography would be appreciated. If you want to take some videos for your Instagram, have some fun. And we're going to have a good time. For the last few weeks, we've been going through the website on the Facebook page. You guys have submitted questions that you wanted to ask. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get started. We're going to have a good time. It's amazing. I'm very excited for this. The kid in me and my karate jeans are ready for this entire panel. This is going to be a lot of fun. Chuck, thank you so much for coming here. You're having a good time in Montreal so far?
Well, you know, I'll tell you that I've been to Montreal many times back in the 70s and 80s. You know, when I was doing my movies, I would come here to promote the movie. And when I was doing Lone Wolf McQuaid, I was here promoting, and I get a call from the Montreal hockey office. They said, would you like to go to the game tonight? I said, oh, really? Yes, I love hockey. I would love to. They said, okay, the ticket will be there waiting for you. So anyway, I go in there, I get my ticket, I go up to a ticket to sit down at a seat, and a guy walks up and says, no, you're not going to sit here. You're going down to sit down with the team. I go, really? Yes. So anyway, I go down there, I sit with the team, I watch the whole game from there. And, of course, they won the championship. Come with us, you can go to the locker room with us. So anyway, I walk into the locker room and I'm just shooting the breeze with all the team, you know. And they bring the stick, hockey stick that they had used that night, and said, would you like to have this? I said, would I? I said, of course I would. And I said, the guy that had the stick, I said, would you mind signing it? He said, I'm going to sign it, but the whole team is going to sign it as well. So every one of them signed it. I still have it this day. And this is 30 years later. And I have it in my, I have an Azuma, you know, that I put it in there. So, I mean, that's the thing, I remember that thing. I've had people say, can I buy that from you? I said, that could never happen in a world, man. That thing is with me for the rest of my life. But, you know, the thing that most people talk about is, when did you start karate? I mean, martial arts. When did you start your martial arts training? And I said, well, in 1958, I graduated from high school. And I didn't want to go to college. So I decided to join the military. And I joined the Air Force, and I became a policeman in there. And they sent, so anyway, they sent me to Osan, Korea. So I arrived in Osan, Korea, and I said, you know, the only thing, I said, I want to learn some martial, you know, judo. Judo is the only thing I ever heard of at 18 years of age. Anyway, so I find the master on at the base, and I started training in judo. And I was training, and on my third one, he throws me, and I hurt my shoulder. So now here I am. I can't do my judo. So I go for a walk. I thought I'm going to see the village outside Osan. So I go for a walk, and as I'm walking through the village, I look up and I see this hill. And there's not many hills up there, but anyway, this hill is hanging up. And I look up, and all of a sudden I see these Koreans' feet flying around, kicking in the air. I go, what in the heck are they doing? And so I was watching them for an hour. I sit there and I'm watching them throw these execute kicks in the air. And I said, oh, I got to find out what that is. And I thought, well, I'll just walk up there and see what's going on. I start walking up, and they look at me with the meanest look you've ever imagined. I said, I don't think I'm going to go up there. So I walked back to the base, and I asked Master An, I said, my judo man, I said, Master, I see a hill up there, there's guys throwing kicks around the air. I said, what is that? He says it's called Tong Sudo. And I said, I couldn't believe what they were doing. I would love to train that. And I said, would you take me and introduce me to the instructor there? He said, okay, I'll take you down there. So he takes me down, and I met the Grandmaster down there, and Master Shin Jae Chul is the instructor there. And and I said, well, could I, there was no Americans in there, all Koreans, no Americans. And I said, could I train with you? He says, Americans don't make it in here. They come here and try, and they can't make it. I said, well, Master, you're going to see it different with me. I'm staying with you. If you let me in, I will stay. And he says, okay, I'll see. So anyway, he agrees to let me train with all these Koreans. And so anyway, I started training 6 days a week, 5 hours a night, for 6 days a week. And then on the one extra day is when I started training judo again. So anyway, through this whole time, I'm going to tell you something that I don't tell very few people. I'm training, these long hours, and 13 hours later, they said, you're going to test for your black belt. So I have to drive from Osan all the way to Seoul, Korea, to test under their Grand Master, Wong Ki. He's the Grand Master. So I drive all the way down there, and it's winter time, snow. And so I get to where he trains is the gym, but the windows have no holes. I mean, they're open. They're all open, and it's freezing there. I take my top thing off. I have my gi on. I sit down. I have to sit like that for 4 hours before I test. And so what it is, there's like 120 black belts testing. And so they go from their advanced black belts all the way down to the lower rank. And so anyway, they do this. It takes 4 hours to finally reach me. And so Wong Ki says for me to stand up and test. So I get up. I can hardly move. I'm going. I can hardly stand, because I've been sitting frozen for 4 hours. So I walk up in front of Wong Ki, and he tells me a form to do, which I've done for 14 months. My brain is frozen. My brain is frozen, and I cannot even think what that move is. And I'm standing there, and finally I said, "Sir, I can't remember it." He says, "Okay, that was my test. I was done." So anyway, I drive back to Osan, and I said, "Master Shin," I said, I was so cold I couldn't do anything, and I lost, and I couldn't remember anything. He says, "That will never happen again, because I'm going to make sure you know it in your brain as well as in your body." And so for 3 months, I trained harder, and it was cold, and he made me start training outside in the cold. So anyway, 3 months later, I go back, And again, I have to wait forever, but this time I'm ready. So I get up there, he says the form to do, and I'm ready, and I can do the form, and I did all the stuff I had to do for my black belt, and I made my black belt. And so when I left Korea, I had my black belt in Tang Soo Do, and I got my brown belt in Judo before I left. And so that's how my whole life began, my training in the martial arts.